Welcome back everyone. Today we are back for a new training vlog. Yes, I'm back on the training range after a little break, and today I'm trying to consolidate the last finding I've understood during the last weeks and so on. I think I didn't really talk about it that much, but it is very interesting. First, let me talk about the backswing. On the backswing, primarily I try to resist after the takeaway. The takeaway is very simple. I'm bending onto my right side and so on. But then it's about resisting. And I felt that there is a missing link that I really need to, in order to resist the momentum of the club, I really need all my right side to be strong, connected, in order to push, to resist against the momentum of the club. And I felt that actually I was doing something wrong with my right shoulder. I was actually pulling it back and around my head, and this is an habit I know I have for a very long time, because I thought, okay, I heard somewhere that this is actually how you rotate your shoulder in the backswing. You pull your right shoulder back and around. Maybe for people that are very not flexible, that's the way to go, but for me, I'm too flexible and I need to resist the momentum of the club. I need to resist. And so if I'm pulling my shoulder while trying to resist with my arm and everything, I just keep rotating. That's it. And so I actually need to do the opposite. After the takeaway, as I'm resisting with my right leg, and trying to put it in the right direction, which is about having my knee pointing 45 degrees to the left without trying to rotate my hips, I also need to push my right shoulder forward. And actually this then, because until now I was really trying to just to keep my right arm extended and so on while I'm pulling my shoulder back. But actually, if you push your right shoulder forward, actually the arm naturally, the connection, the neuromuscular connection of your arm is going to be naturally prone to extend the right arm. Why? Because this is a pushing motion. When you push your shoulder forward, this is like you're trying to push something away from you, and by doing that your body know what to do. It's extend your arm, and so this is primarily what I'm doing here with in the backswing. But then there is the other aspect, which is in the downswing. I have understood a lot of very interesting stuff, primarily about how you unload the golf club in the downswing, where previously this is really about how you conceptualize it in your mind. Previously I thought, okay, in the swing, I do my motion, then before impact, I transfer the energy toward my arm and I throw my arm and I use my arm to release the club. I thought I have to use my arm to actually release, to actually unload the club. And I realized that's wrong. That's absolutely not the case. At least if I want to emulate what the best players are doing and why they are doing. And I have understood why they are doing. Because by doing what I do, try to load with my arm the club, I generate an early release, a little bit early. And I found this in the last session that you have shown, where I was doing my the speech training with my buddies, where I realized that actually the fastest point in my swing with my driver was before impact. And actually, when I was hitting the ball, I was actually already decelerating. And I understood that because it was very difficult for me to push speed with the driver, but it was easier to push it with the iron. Where I have my friend, which is doing the opposite, it's much easier for him to push speed with the driver and not with the iron. Why? Because he's maintaining lag a lot longer until impact, and so the maximum point of speed that you have in this swing is a lot later than me. And so I realized that, and then I try to think about, okay, how can I unload the club while getting a little bit more delay in the full release of the club. And And I don't know how I come up with that, but I actually found that actually it was just a thought experiment. I said, okay, there is I'm unloading the club with my arm. What happens if I use my lower body to unload as well, doing both at the same time? I thought, oh, that's interesting. That's delaying a little bit, but I don't know. Wait a minute. Can I? And that was the question. Can I unload the club entirely using my lower body and not my upper body at all? And this is where things clicked, because the answer is yes. Yes, I can. But that's very, very difficult for me. I'm absolutely nowhere near mastering that. My subconscious, I have built a habit of releasing with my upper body, so it's very tricky. I've done the last golf course you saw at Lille Adam. I actually been able to. I was a little bit more comfortable with that, but at this practice range where I am today at LongChamps, I have built so much old pattern here on this practice range that it was very difficult for me to come back to what I found, because this is something I already talked in previous videos. If you train a lot in one practice range, you tend to build habit there. And what's strange is then to make changes, it's even more difficult because you are used to do things a certain way in one practice range. And that's why from time to time when I go to other practice range, the thing I want to work on suddenly become easy. And this is what happened on the golf course I went, because before I've done a little bit of practice range, and the change I just talked about just before actually were much more easy. So that's very great, because and also I found on the golf course that I need because the shorter by doing that, by unloading the club with the lower body, what happens, you're creating more lag. So with the shorter club, you don't need to rotate your hips that much, because you are hitting down and you want to compress the ball more. But as you are going on longer and longer clubs, the more you need actually to rotate and to unload the club entirely. And that is very difficult for me, because the sensation is basically for me at impact with the driver to have my hips completely open, completely facing the target. And so, but if I don't do everything correctly before, by really dragging the club and trying to unload with the lower body my club, I cannot get into this fully rotated position at impact. So yes, I'm very stoked, because I think I'm really on the right track. I'm moving in the right direction. Everything is awesome. Honestly, I can't wait to make the review of the year, because things start looking very, very, very good. So thank you for watching, and I see you next time.
snack, let me see some. You are the wifey type, baby, you could be one. Let me change your life, I could show you many reasons, different seasons. Hop in my bag and I stay in it, hit from the back and I stay in it. He is not damn, don't play with him. She is not damn, don't play with her. I got a R-O-D, she got a P-N-C. Baby girl, you know you was made for me. Hop in my bag and I stay in it, hit from the back and I stay in it. He is not damn, don't play with him. She is not damn, don't play with her. I got a R-O-D, she got a P-N-C. Baby girl, you know you was made for me.
Hopping away and I stay in it. I beat it up, I don't play in it. I bust it up, then lay in it. Let's go again, you okay with it? I'm parked up, valeting it. Shoot my shot and I'm draining it. I'm Steph Curry, ain't claying this. I don't know what you cost, but I'm paying it. All options, I'm weighing it. If I'm going in, I'm staying in. A king bag, come laying it. Day and night, it's the way of life. I'll weigh you out, then take you out to the Waffle House for some steak and eggs. Pulling up, then we hopping out. Got you walking out with the wobble legs. Wait, girl, I peeped you looking like a baddie, you a diva. Pretty face, caramel skin like a Leah. Saw that fatty poking from the back like Serena. So let me see some.
Hop in my bag and I stay in it, hit from the back and I stay in it. He is not damn, don't play with him. She is not damn, don't play with her. I got a R-O-D, she got a P-N-C. Baby girl, you know you was made for me. Hop in my bag and I stay in it, hit from the back and I stay in it. He is not damn, don't play with him. She is not damn, don't play with her. I got a R-O-D, she got a P-N-C. Baby girl, you know you was made for me. Yeah, bad little John, she pressure. Know that I got you forever. Love her, she got it together. Switching it up when she want, yeah. I seen it the day that I met her. Rocking it off like sweater. Shoes, Bottega Veneta. Hey, yeah. Know you got it, girl. Set the bar, then shot it, yeah. Slip and sliding, you ain't tricking unless you got it, yeah. Can't break that bond, match the charms and the lens she wear. Everything done, we done did it and we took it there, cause I see you looking like a snack, let me see some. You are the wifey type, maybe you could be one. Make me change your life, I could show you many reasons, different seasons. Hop in my bag and I stay in it, hit from the back and I stay in it. He is not damn, don't play with him. She is not damn, don't play with her. I got a R-O-D, she got a P-N-C. Baby girl, you know you was made for me. Hop in my bag and I stay in it, hit from the back and I stay in it. He is not damn, don't play with him. She is not damn, don't play with her. I got a R-O-D, she got a P-N-C. Baby girl, you know you was made for me. Hop in my bag and I stay in it.
On the road, headed back to New Orleans, driving in the country past old-timey scenes. Big birds were singing in the tall willow trees, mighty fine. 3 words written on a paper bag: I miss you, was written in a message in black, thrown in a van 2,000 miles back, a better time. And how many souls and times that I've told of places that I'd wanna be, and how many days when I could have stayed instead of just getting up to leave. And given we make time, I'll meet you down the line. coat, walking on a New York street. A pack of crushed cigarettes that fell to her feet. Well, ain't it odd how some people meet? But that's the truth. And two pictures buried in a guitar case, underneath the music sheets all over the place. I caught a glimpse of the sweetest girl's face I ever knew. And how many souls and times that I've told of places that had like to be. And how many days when I could have stayed instead of just getting up to leave. And given we make time, I'll meet you down the line. And all the days from now to then, if they never seem to come or to go, will find me in your memories that keep you from getting so low. And given we make time, I'll meet you down the line. Down the line.